True.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see if it works out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 2 between BIGETRON Alpha and Rebellion Zion. Remember, this is a match point. BIGETRON Alpha need only one more win to win out this entire series, pushing Rebellion Zion to the depths of the red zone. And here it is. It seems like both junglers, they're going to go for their respective buffs first.
Now, Kufra against the Cho. OnicEsports against Supervin. Supervin is a great pickoff player. He's always so good at finding those opportunities and hiding in the bush, being very unpredictable. But against OnicEsports, a similar player who has a tool in his arsenal to deny that, we'll have to see. Looking at the emblems right here, agility for both the Yve and the Grok to be for the faster rotations, and the tenacity in the hands of the Yve, knowing that she will be a big target right there, is definitely a good call for Renbu to not be too greedy when it comes to that emblem selection.
And it also comes to show that Rebellion Zion, they just love the late game. It's where they thrive. 2 weapon masters on the Grok as well as the Beatrix. Very interesting build as well, coming from Cars, going in for more damage. But Vin here.
Oh my goodness, already forced Audi to use that flicker.
That's Fanny, man. That's so much pressure. Before you know it, you can just get completely bursted down. On the other side, Rebellion, they're just sending Vincent to try and farm up, to try and match the speed. But early game, the Fanny will definitely have a bit of a lead. And that begs the question, for Rebellion Zion, will they try and contest the first turtle? Or are they thinking that the Fanny is going to be too much of a nuisance? Because they have to be very thrifty with their crowd control.
Definitely, and I think it really depends on how far they go in terms of their farm, right? If, let's say, Super Ken is able to mobilize and just level up his farming game and actually get a pick onto highs here.
Okay.
Oh, but he doesn't though.
Yeah, usually when you see a Fanny, yeah, first turtle, they let it go, and there you go. BIGETRON Alpha still doing the same template.
Yeah, BIGETRON Alpha, they're actually focusing more on the pickoffs. And Super Ken actually fails to steal that. It is going to fall into the hands of Vincent there for Rebellion Zion. It was very close. But BIGETRON Alpha, they lose on 2 rotations already.
Yeah, unfortunate for Super Ken. He comes in kind of late, so he's kind of forced to be a bit more urgent with his retribution. And the turtle was just very slightly off in the HP. So Rebellion Zion secures that, and they also are able to save highs from that 4-man, 3-man dive attempt. So far, it's been beneficial for Rebellion Zion, but the goal lead really isn't that far beyond. Looking at the town's prediction, it's the exact same prediction from game number 1. We'll see if things play out differently. But for Rebellion, they're not playing around the gold lane, around highs, so this is definitely a different look. Because usually their win condition is to try and use and play around the aggression coming in from the gold lane.
Yeah, there you go. High, still info, no flicker. And they committed on towards the bot side. First kill, first blood falls to the hands of the side of BTR.
Oh, Vincent, does he want to go for this? He's doing some damage. Supervin gets really low. Still able to get out for now, but meanwhile, Super Ken gets the kill onto Cars. And this is where I feel Rebellion Zion's game plan start to crumble. They're banking on the fact that Cars is able to create space, and OnicEsports goes in again.
Pops a Purify here. Vincent, though, catches the taunt. Oh, good sidestep by Saken. Bye-bye, Audi.
But back to that point, right? The fact that BIGETRON Alpha have been able to heavily punish those side lanes, it's not good for Rebellion Zion, who are banking on both of these people, both of these players to step up in their own way, right? They're relying on highs for the damage, and they're also relying on Cars for that map space.
So now in the mid lane, you can see that BIGETRON, they're still winning when it comes to space, when it comes to map pressure, and that's a lot of that is due to Super Ken just being able to influence the map so much more often. Once again, he's going for Cars on the opposite side, abandoning this turtle, and Rebellion are playing more default, going for it.
Oh my god, let's see. Super Marino catching the kill though, top side. Real World Revelation now popped. Oh, good. Wave Dragon was actually cancelled by the Real World Revelation edges there. BIGETRON Alpha still winning the lead. But, of course, they will lose. They lose the turtle.
And right now, we talk about space. Super Ken already being more mobile, and now Cars is also behind. Killed twice already. in the mid game, this space is going to be a lot more difficult for Rebellion Zion to have any say in contesting the map control, the vision game as well. So even though they're letting go of turtles, BIGETRON Alpha, they are investing in that mid game to late game later on, where having so many more assassins, so much more pick-off tools like the Way of the Dragon, they can actually really start to snowball.
Exactly, it's very difficult. Different to what we saw from game in number 1, where Rebellion Zion at least still had a little bit more of map pressure to bring them to that mid towards this late game. But the fact that BIGETRON Alpha have been controlling it like this, it looks a lot more difficult. And the fact that onto the Harith here, already a 500 gold lead, Beatrix has not even picked up a BOD just yet. It's already been 5 minutes, and the Stardom site has already been picked up. So he's practically ready for these team fights in a sense.
Renbu though, he went for the rush onto the Ice Queen's wand for more utility, but at the same time, I don't feel like he's been required to provide that much utility anyways. I thought maybe a more defensive option would be important, and now he's getting bursted down!
Oh my god, Shaman forced with the combination of that hard guard almost takes down Renbu there, bottom side.
I mean, just as you mentioned, right? Renbu nearly gets taken down, but Super Ken goes in once again.
No commitment just yet. In the backside, High uses the flicker on towards Super Vin. Way of Dragon. Bye-bye, Hyzamore. AudiTZ now quite low. Will be taken down as well by Sorizo. That's another turret. Will surely taken down next wave. BIGETRON Alpha, very healthy lead.
Wow, man. At every turn, BIGETRON Alpha, they have their sights set on Hyzamore or on AudiTZ. Whoever they try and shut down right here will be beneficial for them, and Cars is no exception. Super Ken goes for it.
Oh god, with the help of hard guard there, Super Ken finds the kill. It's a 5v4. Last turtle. Will it be a perfect turtle at least for the Blue Bulls? Let's see. Seems like Rule Manipulation popped as well. Renbu in the backside will cause chaos there in that zone. Superbin caught there. Now, let's see the Retribution battle. Appraisal's Rats wins it. Perfect turtle here for the Blue Bulls.
Wait. Vincent was still able to get that level 9 against level 10?
Against Appraiser's Wrath, when he's that low, it just does so much more damage compared to the usual Appraiser's Wrath at full HP. So he's able to use that very intelligently and get the turtle. But at what cost, right? Cars was taken out yet again. And as you mentioned, Super Ken is still very much ahead right here. And their usual tool, their usual tip of the spear, Highs, is also 0 and 2. And he is 1 level behind Super Saiyan, and he's still vulnerable to getting bursted down like in game number 1.
0-3-0. That's Karst on the Grok right now. He's building a glass cannon build, a little bit more just damage. And the fact that in these 1v1s, if he is trying to be that person to grab space on the map, get those turrets on those side lanes on the opposite side of the map, the fact that Superkin can burst them down, is it a wise build to go for?
Well, the nature of the passive, right, means that whenever Cars builds physical attack, some of it gets translated to defense. So in a way, that's just what people try and abuse on the Grok. But I agree, at this point, maybe experimenting or at least exploring a bit more of a defensive option might be necessary for Rebellion Zion if they want to maintain the macro game, the control on the far side of the map. If they want to try and still go for a huge team fight, then maybe banking on more damage could be more useful. But that is still a very risky play when you can't really control where the fight takes place.
3.2, 3,000 gold lead now. BIGETRON, AudiTZ here, very good positioning. Oh, he might be caught here. Oh, with the Revenge and Rage. Say good night to Supervin. The first kill for the Blue Bulls here happens almost 9 minutes in.
That's 3 ultimates though, used to pick off the Roamer. Shows you again why the mobility on this Tro is just so annoying to deal with. And on top of that, when it really comes down to it, BIGETRON Alpha could use the hard guard to ensure his survival as well. The Lord now is up and Cars is once again trying to impact the map from far away, but at this point, BIGETRON Alpha, they can very easily go for an engage and Rebellion Zion will be forced to kite backwards. Renbu gets jumped on.
Oh, force Renbu to use the flicker there. Sorizo now still being the sandbag. Oh, no bouncing ball. Me and Super Ken will go crazy at the backside. Renbu taken out by Fanny.
Oh no, but they're going in for more. Vincent very low.
Oh, he will not survive this one. My goodness. Sorizo finds a kill. AudiTZ will not be able to provide cover. Hyzamore though in the backside, quite preheating there. But again, Rebellion Zion lost 2 members. This is a huge green light for BIGETRON Alpha to take down the Lord.
And Super Moreno just going in crazy with the recalls. A disrespect coming in from BIGETRON Alpha here in the first 10 minutes of the game. But it makes sense, right? The fact that they've been able to control everything that has been going on. They understand the gameplay from Rebellion Zion, from what they observed in game number 1. The fact that Kars is going to be the one that always goes into the opposite side of the lane. They punished that even beforehand as well. What was he supposed to do?
He just wants to read the map a bit better, and now Rebellion Zion, they go for a trap, but Supervin very easily crosses the wall right there and escapes from danger. Rebellion Zion, they can't get anything, and Super Ken is still waiting in the back line. He might spot something. He might get spotted.
Oh, good setup there. He waited there for like, what, 15 seconds, I think, waiting for the right time. And guess what? Supervin, he was like the shepherd. He guided Rebellion members to go towards that side. Now Lord marches top side. It seems like here no members pull the trigger just yet.
Not yet, not yet. They're looking in for a pick. Supervin, it doesn't have flicker just yet, so maybe they're waiting on that. The fact that Super Ken goes in crazily again for more damage. BOD, oh wait a minute.
Well, Charge and Real World has been popped. Shaman Force will be responded though. Take a look at the damage there already. More than enough to put Rebellion members to back away. 6,500 gold lead. Deja Vu. Somehow, in game 1, 11 minutes in, this healthy amount lead. Take a look at Vincent. Oh, take a look at the cutthroat there. Finding the perfect fill. But Supervin in the front side gets taken out. That's a trade. Jungler for Roamer.
Look at how Super Ken is just able to bait out the bouncing ball so consistently. He's such a big threat that you can't really afford to wait for the damage to come through before activating your skills. And he is completely making use of that factor, of that extra overreaction from Rebellion Zion. Now they're going in for the play though, into Sorizo.
Oh my god, in the backside, Super Ken is just going ham! Finding 2 kills, a double for Rembo there as well. BIGETRON, they might just end it. Kupra, Fredrin, will they be able to end the base? But this time, BIGETRON, they know you don't have to force this. They already in that lead. What a play from Super Ken.
I swear, if I was Heis, I'd be banging my head on like the window or something, right?
What window?
He's any window. 1-4-1. He's only been able to make 1 item so far, Arashi. Compared to the Harith, he's so far behind. He hasn't been given a moment, any space to play.
And even if there was a chance for him to output damage...
Finally, Malefic Roar in the 12, almost 13th minute. Okay, I'd be so mad.
He is just so behind, and if he does damage to Super Moreno or Super Ken, there is damage to be dealt there, but he isn't even allowed the chance to do so because Super Ken is just way too lethal. And for Rebellion Zion right now, they severely lack the crowd control. Vincent and ODTZ are the only ones that have any kind of significant, easily reliable crowd control, and they're always forced to use it for everyone else before Super Ken even comes. So they're just forced to, I don't know, just save it and do nothing. But if they do so, then BIGETRON Alpha has full control over neutral objectives, and that is exactly what we're seeing right now.
So then what? What do you do at this point, right? Vincent level 13 here. Do they even have a chance to contest?
Oh, while charge onto two though, Real World Revelation perfectly placed. Super Sorizo has Immortal, will lose his Immortal. Now jumping in with the cables and hard guard. Super Ken in the backside will get taunted. Super Ken gets taken down. Where Dragon does not matter as Heis was able to flicker out of the way. ODTZ though will die in the process. But it's a 3-4-1 for the Blue Bulls. Oh, Super Second gets a double. Ooh. Never mind, they equalized.
Yeah, that's a 2-4-2 trade, but that's a Lord for the side of BIGETRON Alpha. Despite them losing 2 members, they're going to be able to get the purple buff as well as perhaps an inhibitor turret here in their push.
And now they have the 2 high ground damage for Rebellion, so they can still defend from this. Supervin tries to push the wave as urgently as possible, but against such range, I don't think they can defend it, but no hard guard allows for them to do so.
On towards Super Second, we're dragging on towards Heis more. Weird angle though. Supervin will lose his Immortal, but still survive almost. Goodness. 7,000 gold lead established. 2 base turrets taken down. Rebellion Zion still holding on.
They're holding on and they were able to get a shutdown on Super Ken. He went way too aggressive there. Maybe feeling like all the ultimates were already used, the wild charge and all. Let's take a look at the instant replay here by the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold and Z Flip. Look at that. He baits everything out. He feels like it's time to go in, but then he gets taunted, and that's the damage coming in from that Beatrix. You can never count it out, especially if you're a squishy player. But afterwards, Rebellion, they are powerless to try and deal with Super Ken, the shielding, the true damage, and with the hard guard in Tao as well. There's just way too much for them to deal with, but it's a step in the right direction, and they still have the high ground. By all means, if they can stop Super Ken from deleting the backline, the Yve and the Beatrix will still be such a problem for BIGETRON Alpha to try and crack open the base. It's the same problem they had in game number 1.
Did Supervin use his Way of Dragon onto Audi TZ earlier on?
In that fight, he used it on Highs actually.
Highs.
On Highs.
But Highs was
On
able to
Highs.
survive
With the flicker.
and get out. So that was very fortunate for him as well.
That's what happened. Because I was like, okay, something's going on here. I can't really see it. But now, BIGETRON Alpha, they're going in for the engage once again.
Yeah, on towards cars. That's the right target. You know, take down the member that can crowd control. But now it's a 5v4. Let's see. Super Ken just bluffing, waiting for the right moment to come in. But it seems like, you know what? Base turret should be our #1 prio. Base turret should be their target. Let's see. Base turret defended. Yeah, nothing much. Rebellion Zion, they defended.
Too much high ground, and look at Super Ken. There was a single attack from Highs, I believe. The Renner, I believe, hit him for half HP. So he can no longer just assume that without crowd control, he is all good and dandy. He now needs to be very aware that Highs has the damage to kill him, and he needs to wait for the right opportunity where he is crowd controlled in order to go in. Rebellion Zion, like we mentioned, the longer the game goes, their composition has more value, but BIGETRON Alpha has the advantage when it comes to control, when it comes to opportunities and execution.
Good, I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see Highs' revenge arc just happen, just start here, because I feel like nobody should be treated that way as a gold laner. Can you imagine how much pressure he must have felt in that early game, but finally he's coming on a line. He is going, and just, oh, he's catching up. Highs more. #4 on player's gold here with 10,000. He's catching up with those items, and like you mentioned earlier on, a BIGETRON Alpha, they need to start respecting it, but look at Sorizo here. He's already cutting, yeah.
Oh! Good catch onto Supervin, but in the backside, Super Ken combined with, oh my god, all positioning now. Cars, good one charge. Super Saiyan gets taken out. Rebellion, they're winning this. Super Ken taken out as well. As you see bodies from the Supers. BIGETRON Alpha now, just 2 members standing.
I can't believe High survived that. That was such good cover from his team.
Everyone played that so well. Eterna, you could not have timed the word revenge arc even better. Cars landed a 3 or 4 man wild charge right there, and it completely destroyed BIGETRON Alpha, setting them up for all the combo, the follow-up coming from Rebellion Zion. With that one fell swoop now, they have a chance to pick up turrets and now get control. And now they can turn it around towards BIGETRON Alpha.
For sure, and does Heisemore have Haas Claws at the moment built?
We haven't...
Let me check.
We haven't seen the items just yet.
Oh, I'm a little bit blind. I can't see the items, but man.
Highs has the Haas Claws.
Exactly. So that's why he was able to outplay that situation, because he was already so low. But it just worked in favor of him. Now, Rebellion Zion with the Lord on the way there in the top side. It's turning around. Do you think... Is this it? Rebellion Zion? We're seeing a game #3?
With the Lord, right? An extra member for Rebellion Zion. Their composition is built for this, for sieging. They have the range, they have the engage and the crowd control, but look at Supervan!
Oh, Way of Dragon on towards Heisemore! Immortal with a truncheon all built, but he gets taken out by Saken. That's a member taken out. They need to take care of the Lord top side though. Audi TZ quite low as well. Has no flicker, has nothing, but this time he will pop the conceal to escape. A good creative play by the veteran Supervin.
Wow, they did not respect the pickup potential from Supervin. But on the other hand, they have got more turrets. They've got a single base turret to work with as well. And they have equalized in the gold distribution. Look at all the defensive items being built up for the front line of Rebellion. Now, BIGETRON Alpha can't just ignore them And if you look at the itemization for Renbu, he goes with the NOD and straight for the Divine Glaive. He wants to do damage. He wants to be able to burst down these members. He doesn't want to try and poke around because he knows that's not how this game is going to go. Whenever the fight begins, it's all about who can output the most damage faster. In that fight earlier, near the Lord, BIGETRON Alpha were approaching from multiple directions and Rebellion Zion had flickers to play around. Right now it's the same situation, so BIGETRON Alpha, they will have to try and bait out these movement tools in order to not get caught off guard, like they did in the previous fight.
I'm actually quite curious as to the itemization coming in from Angela. Why build Genius Wand compared to Divine Glaive?
The Genius one, I assume it's too low, the cooldown of Super Second as well, but Super Vin.
Yeah, another target here. Will lose his Immortal as well. And will be taken down. Take a look at the timer, 50 seconds. Meanwhile, Lord will be up in 20. It's not a good sign for BIGETRON Alpha.
Man, BIGETRON Alpha, they're sweating now, right? I thought that perhaps with the Fanny in their hands, in their arsenal, the fact that they were able to control the map from the early game, take control of just everything, punishing highs, punishing cars. I thought that this would have been an easier win than game number 1, but look at the fight that's being put up by the Blue Bulls themselves. They're angry, they're charging at, and Audi TZ is going in.
Take a look at Super Ken though, in the backside, waiting, hunting for the right moment. Renbu has Immortal, Highs has no Immortal though. So that will be info in the itemization chat.
And!
Oh! In the backside! This is it! With the hard guard, Cars! Is he able to do it?
Oh my god, oh my god!
Set onto it soon, but it is enough! BIGETRON Alpha with the cheeky, sneaky push!
The red robots, ladies and gentlemen. What an unorthodox way to end the game. That's why he was there. Either he was looking for highs or he saw that Rebellion Zion didn't do their housekeeping. The fact that there was still a wave of pushing the top side. BIGETRON Alpha, they saw that as an opportunity to end the game, and they knew